Hey guys, this is Stephen Wachowski, and doing my article presentation today. So, I am my research paper is about whether or not a college student should work out alone or work out in groups, and like which one is like more successful for that age. And I found an article which is really helpful. It's really similar to the thing I'm trying to write about, and it's called "Exercising Alone versus with Others and Associations with Subjective Health Status in Older Japanese," which is it's kind of different, talking about older Japanese people, but it's a really good parallel with the research paper I'm trying to do. And this was written by obviously a bunch of Japanese names that I'm not going to try and pronounce, but it's really helpful. So the article begins with a little summary of why they did this research and breaks down participants. Like there was 21,000 subjects aged 65 years or older, and just like the different things they were trying to do, the different subjects they were researching on. So as we get to this first point, uh, is a clear example, as it says on the sticky note, a clear example of how these authors paraphrase on recent studies, and most of their citations weren't on like they were all on recent like studies that had been done before that help them talk about what they're trying to do here. So obviously, the example it says one study conducted on middle-aged Japanese adults showed that there was statistically no difference in the incidence of poor mental health 5 years later between non-exercisers and those exercising most alone. Da da da. But so that's a clear example of how there wasn't any direct quotation, but instead paraphrasing. And we're gonna move on to this next point. That sticky note. Sticky note was very helpful. So here's an example of their vocabulary they use, and it's primarily technical, as it says in the sticky note. And so yeah, the writers introduce their topic as they did in the beginning, and explain the process, which is what they're doing right now, and then eventually discuss their results. And it's all in a really serious tone. Like that's the very serious tone that they use. So I'll read this out. You can tell how technical this language is. Not too much commentary, but it says one cohort study examining older Japanese adults showed a higher risk of incident functional disability. You see those words, incident functional disability, you don't really think anything else but technical, along with words like did not participate in sports organization compared to those who did, just cohort, examining, functional, stuff like that. Uh, Makes the language a lot more technical. As we move on, um, this one is talking about, I believe, the different headings. Oh, no. Yeah, the different headings that this research paper uses, and they do it in like a classical way, I guess you could say. Just to divide it up, here's like the methods and measures, and I mean you can go from the beginning, go down a little bit. There's results, discussion, different things like that, just to divide up the article so the audience can have kind of an easier time reading and understand what they're talking about. So yeah, we'll go down here. Next point. There we go. These authors cite sources throughout by using parentheses primarily, but the end of the paper gives the rest of the works that are cited. So you can see where it says covariates right here. Just a lot of their information they use to cite a source, like geriatric depression scale, and just different sources to help strengthen their argument. And then we go down to the very end, and just like a basic paper, with all the reference list, and that's how they do that. So on this next point, talking about this article cites mostly recent work done on the study or the ethical approval of different universities committees. So as I said, like most of the sites that they source is recent studies or recent research that helps strengthen their argument right here. So in their ethics statement, as it says, ethical approval for the study was obtained from, here come the universities, the Nihon, Fukishi, University Ethics Committee or the Chiba University Ethics Committee. So just different universities that they cite to help strengthen their argument and show like, this is how we got approved. And then, so there's that. We'll go on down to the next point. So reporting of verbs like examine, the word examine, show that the writers are trying to convey information that is representative of the facts. So yeah, here's the example right here. In this there's another example of the headings that help divide up the paper. So discussion, this study was first to examine whether the association of subjective health status to exercise differs according to But so yeah, there's words like examine or status and stuff like that. And throughout you'll see words like describe or this is a result of, and it's just to show you the different facts of the research and study that they did. And that's what the majority of the paper is about. And speaking about the facts, I believe this is the next point. Yeah, this paper is huge on illustrations. And as I scroll down, you'll see that. I'm sure you've seen it as I've been scrolling. But yeah, these researchers use a lot of different things like this. So you see the graph, and it goes on for a whole page, just to make it. It looks really confusing, but just to make it a little easier for the audience to see. We'll go on. The citations are non-integral because of the end, like the end of their parenthesis. They don't directly quote or they don't directly put an author's name after they cite something. It's usually just like either paraphrasing or at the end you'll see the reference article, the works cited page. So that's about it for today. And sorry that was a little lengthy, but it's kind of hard to explain because in this field, you know, it's different research than business or social sciences or stuff like that. You know, it's really based off of just facts and information and data. So appreciate you checking this out, and hope you'll have a great day. Appreciate it.